Oh, skinny jeans and a tight blazer. Really, I mean that's the thing. I mean it's different from a London man. And shiny shoes. Oh, don't say I said that. That doesn't sound kind. You know, I really can't differentiate. I'm so oblivious. I don't really. And I hate being somebody that would classify anybody or like generalize about people. So I don't want to do that. Maybe it's something kind of about the city. I mean, there's an appealing scruffiness to Frenchmen. They do scruff very well, and they do kind of that intellectual scruff in a very appealing way.
I mean, it's funny because it's like there's so many different types of people, and when you walk around the streets of Paris and you see different people, you know, it's like there's a certain sophistication to people, and you know, it's always interesting to see people. I don't, you know, it's just, you know, there's a sort of air of chicness, and then, you know, there's interesting levels. There's that, when I walk to work, it's like I go past a lot of sort of streetwear places, and it's interesting to see how that's evolving in France. And then you see all the very chic people on Avenue Montaigne. There's different places, and you know, I find inspiration from anywhere. So I just like looking at people. When I'm at an airport, the thing I do is just look at everyone, look at their bags, look at what they're doing, everything like that.
I think it's not possible anymore because I think the world became one big fashion thing. So I think every city has people who are dressing similar and also different. So you have tribes everywhere all over the world, but the world is so connected for the moment that it's difficult to see like, okay, he's coming from Berlin or he's coming from Paris.
I'm not sure that I would be able to do that, to be honest. There's no such thing as a country cliché. I don't think so. There's styles of men, and those you can find in almost any country, but I don't think there's a typical Frenchman. I don't think so.
That's actually a fantastic question. I'm not necessarily sure if in this day and age you can decipher a Frenchman from an Italian, from an American or otherwise. I think that the internet has brought us all so close together in our ways that we dress, and that the idea of international style is truly a statement anymore, because you can be in any city in the world and see a wonderfully dressed gentleman, and it doesn't mean that they're necessarily from that part of the world. I will say that in France, they still love a good scarf, and it's truly the trademark of not only a well-dressed French man, but also a French woman. I find I actually wear scarves more when I'm here, and then I go home and I think, oh, I'm going to continue this great style of French, where I'm going to wear a scarf every day, and I never do. But I do believe that when you see them, there's a little bit more of an elan and a relaxed attitude. They don't try very hard, and I think that you see that in the style of their hair, the way they walk. It's actually not even so much about the clothes they put on their back, but it's just their overall attitude. You can really tell that they have that great kind of sense of, I don't really care, but I care just enough.
Every culture has its style. You can usually tell an Italian man, a French man, an American man. It's just a question of style. I think it's a question of it's in the genes, you know, it's in the culture, and I wouldn't know how to put a name on it, how to describe it. But for sure, there's a sort of an elegance that's maybe more maybe a little more serious than the Italians, for instance, you know, a little more classical. Although it's, you know, fashion today is not so classical. It's kind of a little of everything, and fashion today is also quite androgynous. I mean, it can be for men and women. It's sort of mixed.
suite, il y a 1 an, on a réouvert le bar ici.
Voilà.
It is. It's just this side. Thank you. Hi, good morning.
I'm putting it together.
Pour des vrais mecs rouges, des vrais mecs actifs, donc c'est pas du... Ah oui, dynamique.
1, 2, 3, Chris encore une.